Welcome to the show. We're live on Facebook, and now I believe we're live on Spreaker and iHeartRadio, as well as the Leadership TKO station.com's website. And so listen, I do want to welcome each and every one of you here to the show. I'm Lakeisha McKnight, your leadership specialist, your wealth mentor, author of a few books, okay, your friend. And so again, thank you so very much for connecting with me here on the platforms, the virtual platforms here. I'm excited to be here with you guys on this Sunday evening right here in the United States. It's evening here, but it may be, of course, early morning or approaching the afternoon in other places around the world. But right now on the East Coast, it's September the 6th of 2020. And so I do want to welcome everybody here. Good evening. And I'm just glad to be here. I'm excited about what this week has to bring for each and every one of us as we walk into this fresh new week with expectancy of great things happening, of new doors opening, of relationships being enhanced, new people being connected that we're able to be connected to, right? To go with us on this journey called life as well as business. And so again, welcome. I'm going to go ahead and check. I'm looking down at some devices here just to make sure all is well with the streaming and making sure that we're good. Because the purpose of this show, if you don't know, the purpose of the show is really to empower leaders. That's right. To empower leaders like yourself with the ability to win from the inside out, growing your influence, your impact, and your income. Those are the three areas that we're intending to help you grow in. And so as long as you remain plugged in and connected here, you're going to be well on your way and you're going to see some growth in your life. So not only does that mean plugging in, but you do have to implement what you do learn, right? You can't just hear information and don't do anything with it. So you got to digest it. You got to seek to understand what you have and then begin to put it into play. Apply it into your everyday life and business. All right. So again, welcome aboard to everyone. And so as we're here together for a short time, I encourage you to go ahead and number one, like or love the stream. Okay. Hit the like button, hit the love button as we're here together. Secondly, we do see that there's a comment section, right? If you're on Facebook, you should see it below. If you're on a podcast platform, listen, it's somewhere nearby. All right. Just go to that comment section. Leave your thoughts there as you're listening into this live or catching the replay. Ask questions if there's something that you don't understand. But that's what is it's so important to do that. This is how we're all going to grow, as we're on this journey. And not only that, okay, we encourage you to also share this stream out with those that you love and care about. All right. Share it on your timeline. Do a watch party. All right. Just let the world know that you're on this journey to professional growth, personal growth, and of course, being able to grow in other areas. Okay. We said we're going to help you to grow your influence, your impact, and your income. And so, yes, we're going to get you on your way, but I wanted to inform you all of that. So I'm going to practice what I preach, right? And I'm going to go ahead and share this thing out. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to share it to a group of my business partners out there fixing this one little strand. Ladies, don't you hate when you get that one little strand that's just sticking up and it just seems to just want to stand out? I know all of you ladies, you know about it. You're aware of it. And so we're here. We're together. And so I'm going to go ahead and also share this stream out. I'm going to share it also onto my official page as well on Facebook. So let's go ahead and get that out there. Here we go. Perfect. Okay. And now I'm going to also share it to one other group. Okay. I'm going to share it to one other group because there is a group of women that I'm connected with and they tend to plug into some of the things that I do also. So listen, I appreciate you guys. I thank you so very much for once again being here with me. And what we do a part of this show, we first have an appetizer. Anybody that knows me knows that I like to eat some good food, but I also like to digest some good content as well. And I'm hoping that you do the same, that you enjoy the same. And so we have somewhat of an appetizer. And the appetizer that we normally provide is in the form of some leadership content. Okay, leadership content. Now, the leadership content, a lot of it, of course, comes from my leadership mentor, my coach, and that is Dr. John Maxwell. And it's just an honor to be connected with him. Many of you know that I'm a part of the John Maxwell team. And so we're doing some enhancements, to the point where we're soon going to be offering some more enhanced, because we did this before where we offered speaker training, but we're actually going to be providing some more enhanced speaker training. And very soon, not now, but very soon, we will also integrate some coaching training for those of you who also want to enhance your skills at becoming a coach. So you want to stay tuned for that as well. All right. So I'm excited about what the rest of 2020 is going to bring as we also transition into 2021. But back to the appetizer. The focus of the appetizer has really been upon this book right here. You see this book? I mean, it's a doozy. We want to really grow and enhance our relationships. And he goes into this one topic, and I know you all know this topic very, very well. Okay, you ready for it? I'm about to tell you what the topic is. It's huge. It is extremely, it starts with a T. And I'm telling you, without this word, without this in your relationships, you are in for a rude awakening, and many of your relationships will not last that long. And you all probably know where I'm going at with this, and that is trust. Trust. That's the big word right there. So the question that he asks in chapter 6 of this book, he begins to ask the question, how can I build trust with others? How can you build trust with others? And we all know what trust has a lot to do with, right? It's really when your words and your actions match. Your words and your actions match. They align up. Okay. And so I love, of course, the points that he makes in this particular chapter. And I'm just going to point out just a few right now, because one thing that he says is that integrity, because that's really what trust has a lot to do with, integrity. It's really about the small things, the small things. And see, he talks about how many people misunderstand that. They think that they can do whatever they want when it comes to the small things, because they believe that as long as they don't have any major lapses, right, they're doing well. But ethical principles are not flexible. A little white lie, okay, is still a lie. So if you're not telling the whole truth, what are you doing? Okay, what are you honestly doing? For example, theft is theft, right? It is. Theft is theft, whether it's $1, whether it's $1,000 or $1,000,000, theft is theft, period. Integrity, right, commits itself to character over personal gains, to people over things, to service over power, to principle over convenience, I should say. Okay? To the long view over the immediate. And so I enjoy what he's saying about this. He says developing and maintaining integrity require constant attention. And it really does. This is something, of course, that we have to be mindful of every single day. And I love, of course, where he says, to really help you to understand and even measure your own integrity, he actually provides a couple of questions in this chapter. And so I'm going to share with you what those questions are. And then I want you to go back and I want you to answer them, or you can answer them to yourself along the way as I'm asking you these questions. And I want you to be as honest as possible. Okay, be as honest as possible. So the first question that he asks is, you need to ask yourself this question. How well do I treat people if I gain nothing? How well do I treat people if I gain nothing? Ask yourself that question. Be honest. If there's nothing to gain out of you helping someone, how willing are you to help them? Think about it. Now, that's the first question. The second question is, am I transparent with others? Am I transparent with others? Okay? Transparency, being authentic, being yourself. Are you transparent? Another question, a third question is, do I role play based on the person I'm with? Meaning, do you put on a different face? Is there another person you're displaying when you're around certain people? Or are you the same person, whether you're around your parent or you're around a friend? Are you the same individual? That's the question. Are you the same person? Okay, that's the third question. The fourth question is this: am I the same person in the spotlight as I am when I'm alone? That's a privacy question. Like when you're in the comfort of your home, are you the same person as when you're in front of a group of people? Hey, there are some people who put this facade on. They got this amazing view of themselves as if all is grand, all is well. And then when they're not behind, for example, the camera doing a stream or whatever, their life is in shambles. Their life is in shambles. Now, I'm not trying to say life is perfect, but you can't try to put on a facade and make it look as though it's perfect. Okay? And so there's a fine balance between a lot of this, but that's a good question to ask. Here's a fifth question. Do I quickly admit wrongdoing without being pressed to do so? There's some people you got to kind of push and prod and say, okay, well, I know, they're not telling the whole story, and it's almost as if you got to pull it out of them. Or do you easily admit your wrongdoing? And then there are cases where maybe you don't know that you're wrong. And you're just like, man, I didn't know that was, that was something that I shouldn't have done. Okay. And so again, there's a balance. All right. There are some certain things that are common sense. And hopefully people have that common sense to understand things that are common sense. All right. So you really need to be looking at all these things. As a leader, and number one, understand, I always tell people this. I say, look, you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Let's just first hash that out. Let's just admit to one another, we're not perfect. We're going to rub each other the wrong way. There may be something that I may say the wrong type of way, and you might not receive it that well. Let's just iron that out. Let's just iron that out. Or you might not take a liking to something that I've said, and that's fine too. Okay, we're all different individuals, and we have to respect the differences. Okay, we have to respect the differences. All right, let's go on to the next point, the next question. He says, number 6, do I put people ahead of my personal agenda? Do I put other people, ahead of my personal agenda? That's a big question. That's a huge question. There's a time where you put others before yourself, but then you always have to remember that if you're not taking care of yourself, how are you going to be of service to others? So there's a fine balance. Everything is not about you. Okay, it is not about you, especially when it comes to business matters. Nope. Especially being a leader within business, and none of that. None of that. Okay. And okay, let's go to the next question. Number 7. Do I have an unchanging standard for moral decisions, or do circumstances determine my choices? Woo! Yeah, that's a doozy. Let me repeat that one more time. Do I have an unchanging standard for moral decisions? Keywords, moral decisions. Or do circumstances determine my choices? Let me give you a perfect example of this. Circumstances. Depending on what's going on, if it's a special event, something like that, you're like, okay, this is special. I can do this particular thing because this is a special situation. Okay, do you want me to get even more specific? Let me get even more specific. All right, it says, do I have an unchanging moral standard? So that means when you're around other people, are you going to do something that you know is against what you truly believe? Or are you going to maintain your moral standard and stand against the odd and take a stance against those things that you know you shouldn't be doing? Oh, that's like, for example, me getting around friends and saying, okay, well, since not even friends, getting around other people, and I know that they're up to doing no good. Let me just give an example. Okay, maybe they're smoking illegal substances. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'm around y'all, so I'm just going to go ahead and take it, and I'm going to do it with y'all. Just because I'm with you, and just because it's maybe a special situation, I'm just going to do it. And anybody that knows me knows that I'm going to say, not I. not I. And that's always been the case for me. Because even when I was around friends and getting, undergrad degrees and all that kind of stuff, during that time frame in my life, I was always the one. And that's how I knew that I was called to really do something different. Because I was always the one that said, "No, I'm good. I'm good." Right? I'm going to be the one that's clear-minded in this situation. Okay? And so again, good. Let me go back to the question. Do I have an unchanging standard for moral decisions, or do circumstances determine my choices? Circumstances. Okay? Number 8. Do I make difficult decisions even when they have a personal cost attached to them? Personal cost. It could be a personal emotional cost. Like, do you make a difficult decision? There's some people who have to make, like, man, I don't want to do this, but I know I have to, and I know what the results may be. It's hard, but I have to do this. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? Do I make difficult decisions even when they have a personal cost attached to them? Here is the 9th question he says to ask yourself. When I have something to say about people, do I talk to them or about them? Let me break this question down just in case somebody's just like, I don't know what she's talking about. Okay, so if there's a problem that I may have with an individual, am I going to just go to them and say, look, can we just have a sit down or a telephone meeting? Or am I going to go to somebody else and say, you know what, that person is just tripping. I don't know why they did that. Here is what I don't like doing. I consider it to be idle talk. I consider it to be idle talk when you're talking about someone instead of going to them and talking to them about the issue. You can count on me to not be that one to go and just, it does me no good, it does you no good. And here's what I do know. When you're talking to someone about somebody else, it is not really to provide a solution or to enhance their life. Here is what I know if I'm talking to you, if I so happen to do that. I'm not saying that I would. Here's what I know. That if you're willing to engage in that type of dialogue with me, I'll also know that you might have the unction to talk about me with somebody else. That's just what it's telling me. If you're willing to receive me talking about somebody else in a negative way, that just also means that you will talk about me in a negative way when I'm not present. Okay, when I'm not present. And that's not a good sign. That's not a good thing. Okay, I consider it's idle talk. And we've all been guilty of it, right? But we just have to be better at our talk, being mindful of the things that we're saying out of our mouths. Okay? All right. Here's the last question that he poses. Am I accountable to at least one other person for what I think, say, and do? Am I accountable to at least one other person? It can be more than one individual. But it says, am I accountable to at least one other person for what I think, I say, and I do? And I know I answered this question to myself. I said, I know I'm accountable to my husband. That's the first person that I'm accountable to. And then if anybody knows Mr. Keith McKnight, you know that he is not going to entertain gossip whatsoever. He's going to shut it down real quick because he doesn't like wasting time. He doesn't like engaging in conversation that makes no sense. Right? And it's not going to benefit anybody. Like, why are we even talking about this? That's what he's thinking. And I can see it all over his face, when that happens. Okay? And so what other individuals? Who might that be for you? It can be your mom. It can be, of course, a significant other. It can be a close friend, a business colleague, someone to be accountable to. Okay, you need that. So those are some questions that you want to ask yourself to help you measure your level of integrity as of today. All right, as of today. And we haven't even gotten into the main meal, guys. What are we doing? I think that this is very important, though. This is very important. This is going to test who you are inside. And a lot of this, being a person of trust and integrity, let me tell you, it is hard work. It's not all mental. It's hard work. Because here's what I do know. Out of the abundance of the heart, The mouth speaks, and you also see in that manifested action too. So you got to question the condition of your heart, because I can tell what's in a person's heart by what they're saying and some of the things that they do, or even what people are posting on social media. I can tell. Okay, and so it's obvious. Even though we're like virtual right now, social distancing, you can see and understand a lot about people by what they're posting on social media. I'm just going to put it out there. You all know. I'm going to just be as honest. Did you enjoy the appetizer? Let's summarize it that way. Did you enjoy the appetizer? I mean, I know it might have stepped on some toes and caused you to think about some things that's kind of deep. When you get into that internal work and you as a person beyond social media, it gets deep and it causes you to have to do some surgery, to that heart of yours. And I'm going to just be honest with you. A lot of the surgery, you can't do it by yourself. It's going to take some divine intervention. Okay? It's going to take some divine intervention to do that work. Okay, to do that work and to actually assess yourself. So I just got my journal out, and many of you know that I've been in the network marketing profession since about 2002. And when I first got involved with it, it was with a telecommunications company. And needless to say, I learned the importance of culture. That was the first thing that I learned when I plugged into this profession of network marketing. And I understood the importance of celebrating others and having a mentor in business, that is, and just a lot of important concepts. I remember it as if it was yesterday. And ever since then, I've really grown a passion when it comes to this industry and leadership. And what I've come to understand is that when I did plug into organizations, I always worked on myself, which helped me to enhance and grow and succeed and move up in different ranks in the organization. It may have been at a different pace, but I was able to move up within the ranks of the organizations and at a steady pace. And realizing that the only competition I had was myself. And that's what enabled me to truly enjoy the journey and to reach different levels, qualify for different awards, vehicles, and all this kind of stuff in these organizations. But the importance of being planted, I can't emphasize that enough. So I'm opening up my journal. And so I'm about to give you some stuff, all right? A couple of pointers that I've learned along the way from my previous mentors, from other resources, as well as my current mentors like Mr. Best and Mr. Delco and many others out there, all right? Here we go. Okay, here we go. Number one, managing an organization is a time-wasting practice. We got to step away from trying to manage people, especially in this profession. But listen, a lot of people exited their jobs because they don't like having a boss. They don't like having a boss. They don't like anyone having to tell them what to do. Okay. And so we have to be cautious. There's a fine line between being a mentor and being a manager. Be careful. Okay. You can't tell somebody what to do. You can only put it out there and let them make their choice. Okay. And be careful, because then if you're managing them, it can create codependency. And you don't want that feeling as though someone is dependent on you to take action. And so you want to make sure that you're giving them the resources, but that you let them take care of it. It's them. They registered, they plugged in, they got an account, whatever it was. They're in business for themselves. So be cautious and careful about codependency. That's huge. Now, another point that I have here in my journal is supporting the members of your group or your organization means being there for them when they call to ask for guidance or moral support, okay, or request that you talk to one of their serious prospects. So understand something. You are there for support, okay, not dependency, support. That's what it is. That's what it's all about. And note, managing organizations for our families and friends often cause the very people we love most to fail. So we have to be careful too. Yes, we ought to help our family members, those who are also plugged into the profession, but be careful, because you're going to find yourself doing it all. Now, if you don't mind doing it all, that's on you, but that's not required in this profession. Okay, it's not required at all. Okay. Now practicing, I know I'm on this management bit, but we probably gonna be here for a little while because this is what you gotta really, you gotta be careful because people get in management mode when they come from the corporate space of having a job. And so you can't bring that mentality into entrepreneurship, let alone the network marketing profession. It just won't fit. It's not meant for that. Okay, it's not meant for that. So practicing a management mode is counterproductive. It's counterproductive for both those being managed and those doing the managing. It's counterproductive. It's not going to help you get ahead. Okay, if anything, it's going to cause you more stress. And then you get into the profession so you can achieve freedom. So that's going to do you an injustice. It's actually going to cause you to feel more bound than anything. Okay? So we understand we are empowered far less by luck and circumstances than by our vision of what we believe is truly possible for ourselves. Okay? And don't be offended. I got to put this out there. I got this point. Don't be offended. Be joyous, okay? When, for example, new recruits, new affiliates finish their training or whatnot, and they go to work without calling you every day. For those, okay, they may not call you. It's okay, right? And asking you to do really anything for them. That's what you really want. You want them to get to a point where they're not, they're not feeling like they got to call you for everything or inbox you for everything. Okay, you want people to get on board and you want them to go. Give them the necessary training, orientation, help them to launch their business, and have at it. Okay? Just like, for example, for all of us who are a part of Wealth Builders, connect them to the map, and that's it. Train them on how to really follow the map, and that is it. That's really all you really need to do. Anything else is just extra. Okay, I know personally for myself, I do provide a little extra because that's just my nature. That's just who I am. I like to, if I have a resource that I feel will be beneficial or helpful, I'm going to share the resource. If it's benefiting me and it can benefit those who are partners of mine, why not share it? If it's helping me to grow, helping me to really truly build a thriving business, why would I hold it back from them? I'm not. I'm just not going to do it. Okay. Now understand also in this business, everyone has the ability to do great things. But those who lean, if you lean on your upline for every single little thing, those are the ones that usually fail. When you depend on your upline for everything, you're going to fail. And that's why I enjoy, for example, people like Tanisha Glaspie. I'm not sure if she's gonna even see this stream. But she's one, look, she'll let you know, look, it's in the back office. This is where you can find it. Don't be quick and so easy to give someone the answers. Redirect them to where the answer is. Like, for example, to find out contact information for the main corporate office. Are you going to give them the number or are you going to direct them to where they can find the number? You want to give them the source. Direct them back to the source where they can find it, so that they're not easily depending on you for answers for everything. Okay? Here's another point. Okay, I got like 2 more points. Bear with me a little bit. 2 more points for you. Okay, understand. Okay, if you become frustrated, because your partners are not successful, teach them to truly visualize the end result and direct most of your energy towards those who do. Okay, those who do. So it's all about visualizing the end results. You want to always look at the end game. Keep the end in mind. I like what Stephen Covey and his principles, beginning with the end in mind. When you start a business, what is your end game? What are you in it for? Most people, when you're starting a business, the bottom line is you want freedom. Freedom, legacy, succession. You want to be able to pass something on to your children and your children's children. Freedom, for not just for you, but for your children, your grandkids, and everyone else, of course, that God has connected to you. So, that's ultimately what it's all about. And so visualize that. I visualize it almost every day. Can I be honest with you? I visualize, myself, Winter Circle, some of my WBW family chilling at the villa. Chilling at the villa. We sitting poolside, okay, sipping on some pina coladas or whatever it is that you all want. I have no idea what you would want, okay, and some music playing. We got people still flying in on a helicopter in the back of the acres of land, and then of course being bussed or zoomed in or some type of vehicle bringing them up to the estate. Yes, I got it all here, okay. And we have cooks on deck. We got people on deck. We having a blast. We about to plan when we about to go on an island, that somebody own, whether it's Mr. Best or Mr. Dalco. One of them is gonna probably own the island. I don't know why I'm thinking about that, but Mr. Best and Mr. Delco, you watching this? One of you guys are gonna be owning the island. I have no clue which one of you, or maybe both of you. But anyway, somebody's gonna own some type of piece of area somewhere in this world, and we're gonna plan and go there. Whether it's me or somebody else, hey, we're gonna plan and go to that area, and we're gonna be enjoying life. We're just gonna be kick back. I mean, it's just gonna be amazing, and that's what you want to do. Again, see, almost got lost in just describing that. You want to visualize the end. Okay, you saw how much joy I felt in describing that. I just want to stay there in that moment. I want to stay in that moment. But I have to digress and get back to what I'm talking about here. Let's get back to it. Got my little handy dandy journal. Let me get to it. All right, here's my final point that I do want to share with you guys on tonight, okay? Bear with me. I was excited a minute ago. Man, okay. See, because this is a business of duplication. If you haven't realized it, this network marketing profession is about duplication, doing the same simple tasks over. It's rinsing and repeat. Do it, rinse, repeat. Implement it, rinse, repeat. Rinsing and repeat. That's all we do all day, every day. So because this business is, it's a business of duplication, your people will do what you do. Your people are going to do what you do, okay? If you manage your downline, so will they. If you manage your downline, so will they. If you spend most of your time prospecting and recruiting, so will they. It's all about doing the actions you want them to do. Now, for example, I'm a part of Wealth Builders Worldwide, right? With Wealth Builders Worldwide, of course, it's founded by my network marketing mentor, Mr. Best. And so we all have our small little groups, but here's the point that I'm trying to make. Yeah, you can make a small little group for communication purposes, but it's just like thinking about it in terms of an ocean. You have an ocean, which is that's the big body, right? The big body, or whatever it is. It's the big body. Then you have little streams, and you got little rivers, and then you got little, pond. Well, the ponds is connected, but not quite. Okay. But you got all these streams and rivers and things of that nature that really is connected to the source, the ocean, right? So keep that in mind, that you got to be connected. Keep all of your small groups connected. Make sure they're connected to the main source for communication, for guidance, for support. Okay. And I love the fact that if you're not involved and they're connected anyway to the source, you don't have to get into that management mode of trying to tell them to do things, like plug into a meeting. If they're connected to the source of communication, for example, Telegram or WhatsApp, then they're going to know what they need to do, whether you're there or not. So please understand, be mindful of that. Be mindful of what you do. They're going to simply do what you do. Now, if, for example, people who are connected to me and are part of my organization, if they want to do a live stream, have at it. Mr. Best, he encourages us to do a live stream at least once or twice per week. Now, you don't have to be to the extreme of what I do as far as doing a live stream every single day. I enjoy what I do. I love the fact that I know that there are many people watching this. And this is something I was doing before I connected with Wealth Builders Worldwide. I was doing this before then. Okay, but it's just even more exciting because I'm connected to a family that I can call family, right? A business family that I can call family, but it's even more than that. We are truly, truly family. We're helping to change lives. We're change agents. We're information brokers. We're sharing information, that's going to really help people to thrive and change not just their lives, but the lives of their families, and many generations to come. And so I appreciate you all, and I'm hoping and praying that you've enjoyed, the main meal on tonight, just giving you nuggets about this profession and trying to get us out of management mode. And I have more nuggets about management. We're not done with it. But I didn't want to overwhelm you all with a whole bunch of content. Okay. And if you're like, man, I got to come back and watch this again, that's the whole point. Okay. All right. You ever been to a restaurant and you couldn't eat the whole meal? So you had to get a doggy bag, right? You had to get a to-go bag. I don't even know. I don't even know if that was the right word, but a to-go bag. Let's just say that a to-go bag, so you can go back and finish it a little later, and hopefully it's just as good later than it was when you're supposed to eat it. Okay, so yeah, come back if you need to watch this again. Get your information, get your notepad and pen to jot down some of the things that I've shared, and it's only based on just wanting you to succeed and thrive. And it's just helping you to avoid some of the things that I may have done or that was shared to us by our other mentors. So again, thank you so much, guys. And listen, if you're watching this and you're like, man, Lakeisha, what is it that you and your wealth building family, your business family, what is it that you do? Well, all we simply do is we get paid to save our own money. Yeah. We've put ourselves in another bracket where we're getting access to assets that actually make money for us and grows in value as we hold it. We're not holding on to cash, and we've become enlightened and educated about what cash is and what cash is not. And so when our eyes opened about the truth that cash is not money, we're simply exchanging it to get access to the real money. And as we access real money, our net worth is growing. And as we're helping other people, we're actually getting commissions, getting paid because we're helping others. Isn't it valuable more to get paid to help somebody, right? Than to manage somebody? Come on. So again, if this is something that you want to be enlightened about, educated on about what we do, and we all got started for free when we plugged into a resource, and we can help people in 149 countries around the world. From the comfort of our homes, we help people. We're building our own wealth, and we're helping other people to build wealth, gain cash flow, multiple streams of income, okay, from the comfort of our homes, and getting ourselves in position to access a coin, cryptocurrency, right? That will pay us and our family for a lifetime. And we can help you plug in. So even as you're watching this right now, maybe you're watching this on one of my colleagues' timeline and you need information about this. I encourage you to ask that person that's sharing this with you, that's doing that watch party, ask them and say, hey, Lakeisha was talking about this coin that can pay me and my family for a lifetime. She was talking about this resource where she's getting paid to save money. You want access to that? Ask them. Ask me. If you're watching this on my timeline, ask me. I'll give you information. I'm an information broker. That's all I do. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I'm just sharing information. That's it. So listen, and look, we also get trained. We get a lot of training. We're not left in the dark about anything. And as a matter of fact, with Wealth Builders, we have something going on every single day. Like tonight, because it's Sunday, every Sunday, there is a training, a fast track training to help those who are new and seasoned too, to be reminded of how to really get some things going with what we have, how to really set up your account once you get registered. And so I want to encourage you to tune in. We have this training tonight at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so listen, the way that you can access it is by number one, downloading the Zoom app. You go to your phone or on a web browser, pull it up, download the app, and then go to www.goldrocks.info. goldrocks.info. Now, you're going to need a password, so make sure that you do inbox me or the person that shared this with you so we can get that password to you. Okay? And I look forward to seeing you on that platform. Of course, seeing your words you're typing in, that is. It is a virtual platform. It's Zoom, so you can't really hear you, but we can see your words as you're typing it. So listen, I thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to sharing more great content with you through this show tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So listen, until the next time that you and I come together again, I do encourage you to think, to speak, and to live leadership. Good night, everyone, and God bless.